Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So today we're going to be carrying on with the Marianas turn. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to finish it last week, but I do have the time now, so here we go. We're going to get into this bad boy. Get it done. Get her done, as the Americans might say. So, we have an interesting situation. The fact that we do have the combined fleet. Well, at least the actual carrier elements. I mean, what I find interesting is we have 10 ships here then, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Let's see, I'm just gonna... Right, there we go. Sometimes it's a little bit easy if you actually tab out, so you can actually have these things hold on. My eyesight is terrible sometimes when it comes to reading things, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, supposedly that force is just made up purely of carriers. Which I find really interesting, actually. I don't think this is what it seems like. I think one potential possibility is he could be going for like a, what's the American thing? Is it a Hail Mary or a Hail Mary? I think it's like a Hail Mary or something like that. I don't know American football. But he might be trying to lure away my actual carriers, which could potentially make sense, because why would he go south? Like, what does he gain from going south? What does he really gain here? He's got a submarine headed north. I think he expects us to follow him. I think he does expect me to actually give chase. I mean, he still has a fairly formidable force there. So the good news is we do have a great number of F6Fs. We do have a good number of actual fighters around here. I think what we do here then is potentially we look at what we can do. Now the F4U Corsairs, the actual Corsairs over here, they have a maximum range of 12 hexes. So let's try and figure this one out then, shall we? I think about the actual hotkeys though. So the second I've got the actual manual just behind me, I'm just gonna put the actual hotkeys on just so I can see the range there. Right, 2 secs. Okay, plane radius, there we go. So this is our range over here. I really do need to make more use of these things. It really is fantastic actually. Yeah, I mean, move radius doesn't particularly matter, but that is what the move radius is of that ship there. So obviously the green is the first phase, and then the yellow is the second phase. I really do need to make more use of these things. Right, so F3 then, so that is our range. So what I'm going to do here then is take that off. We're looking at the aircraft, so that makes things easier to visualize there, really. So, the actual interesting question then is... sorry about that, I'm just moving the microphone around. So he is within our range here. And let's make sure this is right. That's 14. It might be taken into account the other aircraft here. So if I was to actually select the Corsairs here... Right, we can see it's actually looking at the level bombers. Yeah, there we go. So now we see things. So that is 9 hexes away. So let's see. I'm going to assume that this is a limit to their range. Yes, it is. Okay. Well, there we go. Now we know what we're doing here. Cooking on gas. Right. So this is the limit of the Corsair's range then with the extended drop tanks. I mean, the issue is, I don't really have attack aircraft over here. I think what we do is we get Liberators out of here. I think that is what we do. Now, we do have these guys over here. So these are my reconnaissance assets. Now, they've been doing reconnaissance of a truck. Right, let's look what we have here then. Level bombers. Right. I don't have a huge amount of these bad boys either, really. We do have a lot of Liberators over here, very large amounts of Liberators. So what I'm going to do here then is I'm going to transfer the 98th group over here. So they're going to go out to Pagan. I'm so happy that I've got Pagan. Okay, so they're going to transfer to Pagan. Now let's go ahead and take a look over to Pagan for a second. Right, okay. So I can't handle huge amounts of aircraft over here, but I can handle a few. So we do have these guys over here. Now these are the PB4Y1 Liberators. I assume they are the same aircraft. No, okay, oh right, okay, these are the... Right, and these are... Right, okay. So it is a different model, we can see that there is a slight difference there. Yeah, it looks like they have the additional defensive turret below. Yes, it looks like that bottom turret. Actually, no, bottom turret there. Oh, so they have one less 50 cal at the front, actually. So it looks like they actually do have the same arrangement, FSR. Yeah, okay, so it looks like there's just a difference there. Gun value will... Yeah, so it looks like 1 MG less. Which, not too bad. Slightly more endurance here, but you have a slightly higher altitude, so that's fine there. Accuracy 29. So we have up to 10 bombs here, 10 bombs here. Right, but these guys have the radar, so that makes a lot of sense then. Okay. So we do have our forces over here then. It might be worthwhile continuing to attack the Japanese forces on the island that began. The reason being, well, at least we can drive them off. But we do have a fair amount of fatigue here, so what I'm going to do then is actually have these forces rest. But I don't think we can really... we can't really truly rest until the Japanese are driven off, can we? So... I think what we do then is we continue to attack the Japanese. I mean, what did we actually take in terms of losses last turn? Yeah, I mean... I don't think we found... Did we find the Takao? We definitely destroyed the Yahagi in the end. But I don't think we found... Yeah, I don't think we found the Takao. Yeah, we hit the Yahagi there. But I don't think we found the actual heavy cruiser Takao. Yeah, so we had 157 casualties. The Japanese over here, they're not massive amounts of casualties. The good news is we actually destroyed a G3M3 actually on the ground there, which was really nice. That was the only thing that was left there. Yeah, destruction, preparation, experience, supply. So I think they're without really anything going for them. So I think what we'll do then is we'll continue the attacks. I think we can actually drive them to extinction, I suppose you could say. They're probably going to go for some sort of banzai attack. But the good news is I do have these forces over here now. Granted, they don't have any assault value. But these base forces over here, well... Okay, let's see. Yeah, not a huge amount. They're not going to have much there, but at least it is something available for, like, defensive fire. So now, I think what we'll do here, then, is we look towards destroying his air power, potentially. So he's got the vast majority of his actual aircraft over here to Palilu. We do see that he has assets in port over here at Saipan, only one in port. He's got a lot of ships out here and little task forces, which is a pain in the arse. I need to clear them away. It could be potentially worthwhile to hit the airfield at Palilu, which is 25 hexes away. Jeez, it actually is 25 hexes. You would not actually think that. I mean, our range here, let's take a look. Yeah, I mean, that's very far away. You don't think it, but that is that's a hell of a distance there. Hell of a distance. And each hex is 40 miles, so you imagine 25. That's some distance there. What is that, like 1,000 miles? Okay. So that's something to take into consideration as well. He's going to be looking really towards landing one of these other airfields. So let's see. So from Palilu to Guam is 18 hexes. Tinian. He could probably land at any of these bases when he's transferring the actual drop tanks, but the thing is he's not going to be in a great circumstance. But the thing is, if he's going to move fighters into this area, he's going to have to transfer over here. I do find it interesting. I find it very interesting when he's holding aircraft in reserve. Something's afoot. Something is definitely afoot over here. Now, what I'd like to do if I could be so lucky is I'd like to try and get some actual fighter craft over that way to actually escort the bombers. What has a range? That's the thing. I was looking at the same aircraft here. 12 hexes. Do I have any... Right, so we do have the Corsairs. Do I have any Hellcats? Not over here. I do have a number of Dauntlesses over here, which is very good news. I think what I'm going to do is try and clear out and roing them out to a degree. F4U Corsairs. Right, I do have some Hellcats. Thought so. Right, okay. Yeah, even using the drop tanks, their range isn't that great. And so it's really up to the Corsairs, to be honest. Now, what I could potentially do then is actually have actual craft, actual fighters from the actual CVEs. That could be done. I do have additional I have additional craft on the way over here, aircraft on the way. We've got additional support as well, which is great. If we take a look over here, then we've got some Catalinas, more Catalinas, and some Marianas. More Marianas. Yep, there we go. The reason why I'm bringing these VPs out here is because then I can actually... Well, we have that naval search capability then, which is superb. I think what we are going to do here then is, if we're able to do so, is I'd like to... Well, the thing is I'm going to have to do here, first and foremost, is repair the damage. That one goes without saying. Which is going to take time. A good length of time as well at that. So let's see here then. I'm going to set up an actual surface task force then to just really attempt to protect the island to a degree. Or at least to have something there to act as a deterrent. Or at least there's something in the way of something to intercept the enemy, really. So they're going to be based out here up again. Yeah, they're not going to be leaving up again. High threshold. Then what I'm going to do here then... Now, do I have a rearm level? I have a rearm level currently of 0 due to the fact that the port is entirely knackered. So, ASW combat. Okay, 4 there. Right, these guys really don't want to begin into combat. They're too slow to really do anything. They can take on patrol boats, but they're very slow. In comparison to, like, the destroyers and etc. Okay. So I do require more support over here, but we can get that here. We do have near 30,000 tons of supply on the island. I'm using... Yes, that's our monthly quota, I do believe, our monthly usage, which is 2,471 tons. We do have plenty. Obviously, we're going to be attacking, so that's going to be taken up. We're going to have the aircraft run, so that's going to take it up. The actual airfield here is at 61%, so I don't reckon I could... I don't imagine I can actually have the airfield active as of yet. I may have to have the airfield repaired to a degree. And let's see, can I find anything out about that in the manual? The manual is fantastic, it's just some information is actually somewhat spread out. Let's see. Okay, airfield damage, here we go. 214. Right. Airfields can suffer 2 types of damage. Runway and service both ranging from 0 to 100%. It is easier to damage small airfields than larger airfields, but once damaged, larger airfields take longer to repair. Less damage to the runway is required at smaller airfields in order to prevent aircraft from being able to take off and land at the larger airfields. Okay. Runway damage can limit the air operations at the base. A strike mission may only be launched with a base from a base with runway damage less than 20. Which is for the airfield at size 5. Patrol and combat air patrol missions may only be launched from bases with runway damage less than 50 at size 5. Okay. So, what do we have here at Pagan? Yeah, the runway's fucked. Yeah, the entire thing's buggered here, so this is going to be entirely repairs for the time being. So, the thing is, we're going to have these guys stood down. Which is worrying because it puts them on the island where they may be attacked. But, it's one of these, isn't it? I'll have them in training. Well, in fact, I can have them potentially just stood down and resting. The aircraft do have a lot of fatigue. They are high service rating aircraft, so they do need to be looked after. So what I'll do then is have them on airfield attack, but stood down completely. Okay, there we go. So I do need additional engineers here to the island ASAP. Right, patrol zone over here began. I need to have these pickets out here, really, to look after the base. Now, the thing is, we're going to have to look towards landing at one of the other islands very soon. I don't know, I just fear that, I don't know where the Yamato is, or Musashi. I don't know where his heavy ships are. And it does worry me. And there's 5 ships over here in port, but the thing is, what worries me is the fact that, well, we didn't know about the heavy cruiser and the, well, we didn't know about the, Takao and the, Yahagi until they were on top of us. So I wonder if the Yamato is in the area here somewhere. I feel like what it might be trying to do here then is lure the actual carriers to the south and then potentially like try to hit the invasion forces over here with Yamato. I think that seems to be the most likely situation that he may in fact go for. Which is worrying, very worrying. But the thing is, I don't know where she's got to be somewhere. He may just, I suppose one of the things as well is he may be just hiding Yamato over here at Truck. There's 5 ships over here at Truck. One of them's a light cruiser. So maybe he's just hiding them at Truck to keep them from being sank for the victory point purposes. So it's one of those things to bear in mind, isn't it? Okay, we have the Tinian landing force over here. You can see that their fuel's starting to run a bit low. What I'm going to do is have them replenish at sea. Okay, we do have a Saipan landing force over here then. I'm going to have to clear the waters around Saipan first. But I think we will be making ready to land at Saipan shortly. I think I've got to. Now, I do have the oilers out at sea here. It might be for the best just to keep them out at sea. Replenish at sea. Yeah, additional oilers over here as well. Yeah, they're detected. Okay. What I'm going to do then is they're going to return to Pagan. Yes, they're going to return to Pagan. And then we're going to basically have the battleships rearmed, but we are going to be looking towards having our forces made effective. So they're running decent missions here. There's no fatigue that's been incurred as of yet. The actual aircraft over here, but let's take a look. How are they doing? Fatigue, ooh, yeah, fatigue on these guys is up there. But what I can do here, then, is drop levels down. I mean, in fact, what I'll do then is have 40-20. It reduces the amount that I'm actually going to have available for, let's say, escort missions, but that's not too bad. At least I do have 20% of the squadron actually resting then. So I'm going to ensure that 1/5 of every squadron is actually resting for the time being. Combat with the enemy carriers isn't exactly anticipated here at a moment's notice, as they are some way to the south. I'm going to go hunt there with the actual big carriers, I reckon. I think it's one of these things of I can't ignore the combined fleets. I do want those victory points. Then I can't allow him just to move without being challenged. No, sir. Right. Oops. Okay, there we go. We did burn a lot of fuel, but the thing is I can head towards the Noble Talk and refuel anyway. So that isn't a bad idea. I could potentially swing by truck to raid there. So let's see. This is our movement radius. What I'm going to do then is they're going to remain on station. I'm going to have them head down to this position here. But what I'm going to do then is actually have them follow the waypoints. So have them initially head out this way. And then they can head down that way. Something of a zigzag to a degree. I mean, the question is, am I playing into his hands here by having our actual carrier forces, well, the main body of the carrier forces head out there to oppose him? But I think the thing is, we do have the escort carriers. I mean, the escort carriers really do give us so much in the way of flexibility. It's not the role of the fleet carrier to babysit these operations. They're there to lend support if needs be, but it's not their job. That's the job of the actual flat tops, or the baby tops, the baby flat tops. The CVEs will say. Okay, drop that by 20. And then what we'll do then is just send it live out, which is far easier to do. Right, there we go. Like, we do have a very dangerous force here. It's a very strong force. Okay, mission speed. Their destination is going to be in Niveltok. But what I'm going to do here then is have them set with a waypoint as well. Have them sent initially that way and then they can make their way down. What I'm trying to do here then is drop that detection. If at all possible. So you can see they're going to be heading down this way and then that way. Then these guys are going to head that way. Now, what I'm going to do then is have these guys head out towards Pagan. They're gonna head back to New Talk. I'm going to reduce the actual level of reaction here, so we'll just have it to 2. Okay, so what I'm going to do here then is patrol near truck. Though saying that, I'll patrol this actual area over here. The reason being I might be able to intercept the enemy. Or at least draw his air power. Right, what I'm going to do here then, set up the patrol patterns. He's going to be aware that there will be submarines around the area. I can imagine that. So I'll send a couple to hunt towards him, but I think what I'm going to do then is actually try and just have a couple out this way, just trying to actually patrol the area in case he does actually approach this way. What I want to do is effectively have a somewhat random approach to the actual submarine patrols, because then it means that he can't predict it exactly. Okay. Have it something like a crescent, basically, so it is protecting what it needs to be protecting. Have a couple head down that way. And this is it. I mean, you can really see why the actual US submarines were just so goddamn deadly. Yeah, good luck heading back to Pearl Harbor from here. Not required to do so, are you? Okay. Yeah, so the idea is have these submarines actually spread out and just patrolling random areas around here. But destroyers can fill in that gap as well to a degree. So in fact what I'll do is actually bring these guys out over here as well. At the end of the day, they do have radar, they are able to detect the enemy, so it's worthwhile having some destroyers actually patrolling out here. At least then we are aware what's going on. If anything at all, really. Okay. You're heading into port there. What I do need then is the actual support element. Yeah, like all these bad boys, they need to head into Pagan. I don't know why I brought the tankers, but I suppose why not. Yeah, these AE is going to be really very handy. The auxiliary pairs are going to be very good too. They'll help our ships out. We do have destroyer tender, submarine tenders here, just a lot of good stuff. We are carrying a good few thousand tons of supply as well, which is going to be very handy. So absolute, auto disband once you arrive. I'm going to head down this way, the reason being, don't want to get caught out. What I'm going to do is have their home port set to Pagan. The reason is then, at least if anything happens, they will head back to Pagan. Okay, there we go. So, I can't get that many aircraft on station over here as of yet. You can see it actually reduces the requirement significantly when they're resting. I'd like to get the Liberators out there. The reason being, well, once they're in position and once I can make use of them, we do have a huge... I mean, this is it. I mean, these guys are carrying, like, 10 bombs each. So that is a lot of, like, firepower that I can drop there. At the end of the day, we did fight for that reason to actually be able to base them there, so I think it is worth it. I'd love to get ground-based planes over there, but that's going to take some time to get them there. Maybe they could move from a New Talk over there, but it's one of these things, isn't it? Let's have the rest of them rest while they're here. Okay. So what I can do then is look for more reconnaissance over one of these islands. But that's 700 and... sorry, no, it's 480 points. Yeah, so Saipan is worth the most. I think we do need reconnaissance of a truck there, don't we? What I am going to do here then is, this is really, it's a dirty tactic to be honest. The reason why it's a dirty tactic is because what I'm going to try to do here then is really try and get in amongst his formation there at night if at all possible. So I'm going to move out at full speed. So we can be here at night, which is great. Okay. Let's take a look at the range here from Quangeline. That's about 14 hexes. Roynmer is about 13 hexes, so more than likely it's in Warthog that's going to matter. So, what I'm going to do is move the Dauntlesses over there. I mean, Warthog is our important base, really, for the most part. These other ones don't particularly matter that much. Move out these Corsairs over there too. Yeah, so we are overstacked here, but that's not too bad. These actual level bombers can just rest. Right. We'll go for 9 hexes. Ooh, got FOU2s over here, actually. That's good to know about. Okay. So what I'm going to try to do here then is have just every fighter able to take part, look to take part. So what I might be looking at is over here in the Warthog, let's see. In that is 97 fighters ready. Couple night fighters there, 24 night fighters ready. Yeah, so we have 44 dive bombers here then. Do is give them reserves. So they can actually transfer to Began from here, which is fantastic then, actually. So we can make use of Began then. So once the actual airfield of Began is repaired... Oh wow, we can actually support this. Then we can actually make use of it. Okay, there we go. So we have a total of 70 heavy bombers here ready, which is good news. What I'm going to do then is over here... have some Wildcats actually responsible for running combat patrol, but then again, these guys have a lot of fatigue. Have them run that night. Yeah, long-range combat patrol at night over the base there. Have them run that over Pagan as well. So at least we do have a squadron at night. We have a squadron in the daytime as well. That's responsible for looking after the actual security of the airspace of Pagan. I'd imagine he will probably attempt to do something there. So I think that's worthwhile doing. Really, we're going to have to repair the actual airfield over here, which is going to have to be done. But the fact is, we've actually taken the island Pagan. That gives me just... Oh, God, it gives me so much to work with here. Like, so very much. Once I actually get the battleships over here as well, it's going to also increase the amount of actual... yeah, combat power that we actually have. Okay, there we go. I mean, what I'll do then is... they're going to head to just off the coast of Pagan. Well, about now. Let's take a look at the actual... yeah, so it's in deep ocean. So what I'm going to be doing here then is, once we're doing near Pagan, what I'm going to do is actually have the battleships detached with a small escort to head to the island of Pagan, where they should ideally be able to rearm. Once they're rearmed, what we'll be doing then is basically, I need to clear out the ships around Saipan. Now, Saipan is going to be more than likely mined, which is a bit of a pain in the arse. But the good news is, well, we can make do with that. I can make do. Like, I will have, let's see, minesweeping. Yeah, look at all this. That's a lot of minesweepers. It's got the range. It's got the speed. Sorry. Right, that'll go replenished. Yep. So that is a shitload of minesweeping capability. I could start sweeping mines over here from began, but the thing is, I'm more than likely going to draw that attention. But what I can do then is actually have that out ready. I mean, that's 22 ships there that can clear mines, which is superb. In fact, I'll just have them on patrol here at began. At least I can make use of them then. Yeah, that's good news. So once we actually get the battleship set up, then what I'll do is actually have the service combatant task force move over here. Have them... I mean, this is it. I could attempt to engage the enemy's ships over here. The thing is, I don't really have that much in the way of information over the actual site, but once we actually have the airfield over here, I'm going to be able to run that reconnaissance, which is going to be good. Very good news. We're going to have increased reconnaissance of the Saipan soon. I need to see when it's going to ports there, but it's going to be looking good sooner or later. But yeah, the fact is, now that we actually have a position, an actual toehold, then it makes things so much easier. Right, what I'm going to do here is clear that waypoint. Have them just make a straight movement towards Pagan. Yeah, so we're going to continue to try and hunt down his carriers. We're going to try and be sneaky. We do have it set up here for the naval attack. So it's one of those, really. We'll have the carriers head south, detached. Well, split up, but the thing is, we're moving into an area where there's a lot of US submarines in there. We do have naval search. We'll have increasing levels of naval search coming as well. The fact that I've got the 70-odd heavy bombers there at Pagan, which is just great. I mean, once I actually get additional aviation assets over there, that's going to be fantastic. But this is the thing here, really, isn't it? It just makes a massive difference. Like, do I have any AVs, actually, now I think about it? So let's see. Auxiliaries. Is there any AVs? I don't actually have any AVs, which is interesting. No aviation tenders. Well, I got the AVD. Where's she? She's over there. Oh, no. Is it? Oh, no, she's over it. No? She's over here, apparently. Yeah, an AVD there. Yeah. As we'll look to eliminate the Japanese forces on the island. Which is going to be less than easy. But we'll have to do it. But we are closing in now. Now we've actually got a port of call there, just north of the Marianas, well, the north end of the Marianas. It means I can actually rearm my ships, refuel my ships, rearm my submarines, refuel my submarines. I can do a lot there. We have a point of safe harbour, which is just incredible. But this is it. Once I've got the actual heavy bombers able to start flying, then things will start flying really very quickly there. I'm hoping we'll be able to get it done quickly enough. Not going to be too easy. I mean, we do have 61 engineers. We do have 7 engineering vehicles, so at least we do have that, which is good. Okay, what do we have? Well, we do have the additional engineers over here, which is great news, and there's a lot of fuel coming in as well, a lot of supply too. If we take a look over here, we have a 101, so the 101st USN base force over here. As you can see, that is bringing additional engineers. No engineer vehicles, unfortunately. 155mm gun van, damn. But yeah, just base forces there, really. AA is always nice. Sherman tanks, can't wait to get those bad boys in action. But the thing is, once I get them over here, I can actually have them made ready. Like, they're planned for Tinian. Yeah, Guam, Peleliu. There we go. More engineered vehicles there. Yeah, this is it. We just have that boost of supply support. I mean, we have a lot of supply and support in the area. Well, sorry. Yeah, well, no, I actually stand by that statement. So it does work for us. We do have that going, which is just great. I mean, let's take a look at the actual weather here. Partly cloudy. I think we'll be alright. It is an interesting turn when he's gone down here. I think what he's trying to do is draw my carriers, but the good thing is I do have the actual escort carriers in good strength to the north as well. And at least with our logistical elements able to actually take shelter at an actual base, it is really a lot better for us. We actually do have the ability to shelter our vulnerable assets to a degree, which is very good news. So I think we'll go with that. And the only worry is that he potentially bombs the airfield over here at Pagan, which he could do potentially. But in terms of bomber strength, he has 11 bombers here. Yeah. So I don't know really. We're going to be flying some actual combat air patrol over the actual island. But once I get the island to a sufficient degree, like once the runway is under 50% damage, then I can actually fly combat air patrol from the island itself, which is good news. I was hoping that we might have been able to take the island with less damage, but then again it was under a fuckload of bombardment. So it's not entirely surprising on that one there, really. We do have our destroyers in, yeah, so destroyers will be here, destroyers are here, destroyers are here. Obviously destroyers are heading out this way as well. It doesn't look like, it's not really that much in the way of distance there. It would be crossed pretty quickly. You can see that only about 22 hexes out there from Pagan. So they could be, combined fleet carriers could be moving this way. So this is why we're having something of a actual, I mean this is it, I'm worried that he might head towards actual home ports over there. So we'll try and do our best. We've got Warthog as a potential base there of resistance. Also trying to make the most of it. If we take a look over here then, so in terms of night fighters, that's 121 fighters there ready. And then obviously we add in the actual dive bombers. So we have a fairly large number there. It's a fair number of them. Ideally they can make it through. That's going to be the thing there. Right, these guys are resting. Yeah, continue to rest. Okay. Right then, ladies and gents. Getting very close to the end here. So we've got a good few more turns here, which is very good to see there. So I'm happy about that. Like, I'll have additional divisions in a few days as well, which is going to be good news. But at least for a base, I know I keep going over this point, but it is very important. At least for an actual base that we hold, it just gives us a rock-solid point from which we can really just project power. I love that. So I'm going to say a big thank you here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to name the turn, and I'll send the save over just afterwards then. So, began +5, I think, at this point. I'm always terrible for actually keeping an account of the dates. I always forget which dates I should land, because I always get confused which turn I'm actually playing. But yeah, we're on turn 22 here, so we're moving into turn 23. There we go. So, if you do enjoy my content, and you'd like to support me as a content creator, please do so. You can do this by hitting the subscribe button, hitting the actual bell icon to be sure that you're informed whenever I'm streaming or uploading a video. And of course you can follow my channel on Twitch at XTRG, and you can also become a patron of mine through Patreon at XTRG as well, or XRandomGamer. But until next time, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye for now, guys. See you soon.